On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
And we are just here.
We're hydrated and we are ready.
We are ready to take on... Ooh, hydration's important. I'm going to get to it in my coffin spinner later.
Oh, okay. Well, so is having a little head.
Perfect.
And I'll be getting into that in my coffin spinner.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but I do know... There's nothing wrong with a little head every now and then. Okay, brother.
Okay. Eating the windpipe, honey.
Also know that we started Halloween shopping last week.
Mm-hmm.
We recorded it. We had luck at some places, not so much luck at other places. But if you want to see it,
head on over to patreon.com/cultleader and watch us move and groove.
Oh, we are moving, we're grooving, we're shaking, and we're baking, baby.
Can I just say I was so surprised at some places that didn't have Halloween decorations out, because I remember in the past few years, it's like Christmas decorations have already been out at this time.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous, and I just want to say that there is a war on Halloween.
Oh, there has been.
There's been a war on Halloween, and we're
not Christian!
No. Go there for all the drama. Speaking of drama, we're bringing the drama to Florida, Tampa, Florida on October 26th.
Can't wait.
We are so fucking pumped for this show.
Oh, we have searched the history of the city. It was like an old cigar town or something where the improv is going to be. We're ready.
We're mapping it out. We're getting the lay of the land.
Mm-hmm.
We just can't wait to be there. So if you're interested in coming, go to obituarypodcast.com and get your tickets right now.
Right now.
Right this second, you little bitch.
Oh, no.
You little Geoff.
I feel like the last few Halloweens I haven't done much, but this year feels like, oh yeah, we're going to celebrate.
Oh, we are ready to celebrate. We've already started working on our little costumes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what else is going on? How was your week, Spence?
Well, I saw you every day of it.
That is true.
I did. I've seen you every day this week. We've been going on a new dog walk, which is really exciting.
Yes.
I'm going back to San Francisco tomorrow.
Yes.
Just up there. Just excited. It's been nice because we've been home so much lately. Just having, weekends, getting to go on little weekend trips and see the fam, see the nephews. Especially because I know October is going to be crazy because we have some trips planned.
Yes,
we're also going to Florida, of course.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be a crazy month. So excited to get some quality time in with the family.
Oh, yeah. And you brought me home a little gift when you were up there in, I think, Sonoma.
Yes.
A cute little cowboy boot keychain.
There's a cool little store in Sonoma right off the square. I forget what it's called. I'll tell you guys next time if I remember. Sonoma is one of my favorite places to go, though.
I want to go. I've never been.
We should go for 4th of July next year because
you always go.
Uh-huh. It's the most, quaint 4th of July. I don't know. I just love it. But yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, I got to get my wife a keychain, too.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Okay. But the gifts keep on coming because you called me the other day and you're like, I just got you a ticket and yourself, obviously, to go see Zach Bryan again.
We got to go back.
We got to go back. And I was like, okay, where? And you're like, well, it's in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
So we need to go to Chicago and it's going to be right around your birthday. So what a great birthday.
I'm so excited because his new album just came out, which we both have been loving.
So good. It plays in my house all day because Cisco loves it too.
He's getting on board.
He's getting on board.
The anti-man is bandwagoning. A hot ticket item. It's going to be fun. I'm excited because when we were in Chicago, you've been to Chicago before, but not in a while. And I have like my places there that I wanted to take you, but we just were on such a tight leg when we were there.
It was Taylor Swift City too.
Oh yeah. There was no getting around. So we didn't get to like bop around at all. So I'm excited to have a little trip where we can do that.
The museum there that I went to like a few years ago and saw that submarine. I know I brought it up in an episode when you were talking about submarines. They still have it there. So maybe we'll do a little Patreon thing when we're there.
We should. Why not? We're just yakking. Here we go.
Just yakking.
Welcome. Go leave us a review about how you hate it.
Yeah. We don't really tell you guys to leave us reviews much, but it helps us a lot.
Yes, go put 1 star. This is the worst podcast I've ever listened to. No, I mean, if you want to. If you feel inclined, we do appreciate it always when people review.
And if it's a bad one, we just Google the name and we find out everything about you.
Yeah, we'll know where you live. And that's actually our tour next year is going to be going to your place of employment and rating you.
Yes.
How do you like that?
Oh, yeah.
We're pulling back the veil, baby.
Oh, yeah. You never know. Wait, speaking of never knowing.
We never know anything.
We never know anything. But one of our friends called us yesterday and was talking about how her neighbor, she had people over and they were blocking her driveway.
Oh, and she was like, I was pissed off. Like, I couldn't get in my driveway from my house. And then it turns out that Ed Sheeran was inside of her neighbor's house, like recording something. And that is just
so LA, I feel like.
And just so random.
Yeah.
Like of all people, too.
I know.
We promised you guys last week we weren't going to talk about any fitness stuff until our 30-day check-in with you all. But we were just like filming something for this project that we're working on. And Madison just like turns around. She takes her shirt off and she's like, okay, I need you to take my before pictures for me.
Well, our coach or personal trainer was asking for them and I've avoided it. And I'm like, okay, I got to do it. I need you to do it for me. But I'm like in a bra and I was asking you, I'm like, is this too like revealing? And you're like, no, bitch. Like what? And so I'm standing in his room against a white wall with like slippers on and stretchy black pants and a bra like, ugh.
I love it.
God.
I realized too, though, I'm like, that's exactly where I took my before pictures. So he's probably going to be like, okay, like, what's their deal? Like, do they live together? Do they not?
Well, at our session yesterday, I pulled up in the big van and he asked me, I'm like, I don't know if he saw my car or not, but I'm pretty sure he did because he asked me, he's like, do you travel a lot? I'm like, no, for work. But no, he's probably like, is she like into camping or something?
Yeah, camper girl.
Camper.
Why not?
Oh my God. But the pictures, you look like a prisoner.
I do.
And I look crazy. I have tits on my back. I got 4 sets, baby. Or 2 sets.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a listener email, but I also want to say we got so many emails from the tattoo episode, and a few of you guys have gotten tattooed by Bert Grimm, who I talked about in the obituary. And one email that we got, they were like, he was, so nice, and I got a tattoo from him in his house, and he only charged $5.
Oh, shit.
It's cool.
That's awesome.
I love it. Okay, but this email says, hi, girlies. I'm currently listening to your latest episode, Oh Bitch, It's Looking Grim, and you're sharing a story about laughing at a funeral. And it reminded me of what happened at my great-grandma's funeral. My great-grandma, Mama, passed away peacefully in her sleep in 2012. She was such a sweet lady. She always kissed kissed you right on the mouth whenever she greeted you, no matter how hard you tried to turn your head away. Her funeral was beautiful, and there wasn't an empty seat in the house. Well, a couple weeks before she passed, we found out my uncle had been cheating on my aunt and was leaving her and their 2 kids for this other woman.
Oh my God.
My aunt is literally the sweetest lady on earth, so my family was so angry for her. My stepsister made a slideshow of pictures for the funeral. We're all crying, seeing her life throughout the years, when a picture of my aunt, uncle, and their kids and mama pops up. But my uncle's head is completely cut out of the photo.
I love it.
He's just a headless body, and my whole family starts busting out laughing. My immediate family were really the only people who knew about my uncle, and we took up the first 3 rows of the church, so I'm sure we really confused everyone else who was there. Well, that wasn't the only picture. Every photo my uncle was in, he was headless. And honestly, he deserved it, and it was actually a beautiful moment for all of us. Even though we knew it was Mama's time and we were happy she went peacefully, saying goodbye is always hard. But when your uncle is an idiot and your stepsister is an evil genius, it makes it a little easier. Thanks for this beautiful show and everything you 2 do, Savannah.
Oh, Savannah, thank you for that story. Incredible.
I love that so much. What better way to heal than put someone on blast at a funeral?
Oh, we love a little pettiness and we love a little laughter. And it sounds like your uncle was a real asshole.
Oh, big time.
Well, I've got some assholes for us, and this first one says, am I the asshole for yelling at my ex and telling her to stop trying to make our kids perform for her after the death of her husband?
Okay.
My ex-wife and I share 2 children. Our daughter is 13 and our son is 11. She was remarried for 7 years and has 2 children with her late husband. He died a week ago. My kids were not close to the man. He was a hard ass and the kids found him overly strict, and I agree. And they didn't like being around him. The relationship at best was strained, but they confided in me over the years that they hoped their mom would leave him. She loved the guy though, and when he died last week, she was a mess, understandably. Our kids were there with me when it happened, and she wanted to see them, so I brought them over. They comforted their mom, and she told them repeatedly it was okay to cry, it was okay to miss him, and that they were all going to miss him. The kids said nothing, but she kept repeating it. I told her I think the kids got it. When the kids saw their mom again, she was halfway through planning the funeral and asked if they would be able to do a reading or something for the funeral. The kids said they wouldn't be able to. She was with them a while and then said, since they weren't crying much, maybe they could take a reading and see how they did on the day. The kids told me about it when I spoke with them and asked if I could talk to their mom, and I told my ex not to force this reading. The funeral day came and I showed up for my kids. They were hanging back with me a lot and they told me their mom kept watching them, which I witnessed myself. For the funeral, I sat behind them since she wouldn't let them sit with me. She told us that all her husband's kids should be seated up front, and I didn't have the heart to tell her that they weren't his kids on the day of her husband's funeral when she was such a mess, so I bit my tongue and supported my kids. It was after the service when everything went down. My kids came to sit in my car for a while and we were laughing about something. My ex came over and asked how they could be laughing when they had just buried their stepdad, and why didn't they show grief at all over the loss of a man who was part of their lives for 7 years. She said it was almost like they were glad he was gone. She told them they should have been looking way more somber after he passed. She told them if they really didn't care, they clearly needed help because her husband loved them. I stepped in and told her to lay off the kids, their kids. She told me to stop interfering in how she parents our kids. My daughter ended up getting mad at her mom and told her she wasn't sad he was gone, he was an ass, and that she had always hoped she would leave him. She stormed off and my son followed. X was going crazy and I yelled and told her to cut it out and to stop trying to make our kids perform a grieving routine over her husband. I told her they were trying to support her and she should be proud of them for that. She started yelling back at me about what an asshole I am, so I walked away. Am I the asshole? And people wanted more information, so they added an edit. He said more details on why my kids had issues with him. He spoke to them like they were soldiers and he was their commanding officer. That was how he spoke to his own kids too, barking orders at them, very strict on how they sat and stood with their posture. He was very tough on them regarding what extracurricular activities they wanted to do, had his own ideas of what kids should do, and my son especially wasn't interested in the sports aspect, and that was not what my ex's late husband liked to hear. He also didn't believe kids should be helped with homework beyond kindergarten and did not like how the kids would react to seeing me during exchanges. He believed kids should act civilized at all times, and them taking off and running and jumping into my arms was something he did not approve of, and he said this to them, though not in front of me after I told him it was what we do.
I would have said he's not an asshole even before that edit.
I agree.
When you have kids, and I don't, but I'd assume that you want to protect them from as much as you can. And grieving looks different on everybody. Like, I'm not a big crier. When my grandparents passed away, I did not cry.
Right.
But I was so sad.
Of course.
The mom just seems like she's obviously going through it. She's grieving, but kids also don't just say, like, we wish you would leave him unless there's something behind that. So no, I don't think he's an asshole.
No, and I think it's kind of on her to, like, if he wants to bark orders at his own kids and treat them like soldiers because that's what he does and that's how he parents, that's one thing. But if you're coming into these other kids' lives who are raised a different way or maybe with more of a gentle hand or whatever, it's not your job to toughen them up.
No.
And also let kids be fucking kids.
Let them go through every range of emotion. I think if you want to have a laugh at a funeral, God, please.
Like, it's one thing if they were, like, laughing and making jokes during the service, but
No, there's a time and place. They were in a car.
oh, please.
Please.
Okay, well, the second one says, am I the asshole for kicking my girlfriend out after she deleted my dead wife's pictures from my phone?
Oh no.
Drama. My 25-year-old male wife died 19 months ago. It was really hard on me the first few months, but finally I started putting myself back out there. I met my girlfriend, 23, 7 months ago. It was going pretty well, and she moved into my apartment around 4-ish months ago. In hindsight, we probably rushed this. Yeah, 3 months in. That is quick. My girlfriend is very overprotective and clingy and scared of me cheating as she's been hurt in the past. I already hate her.
Red flag, red flag, red flag.
I let her have my phone password so she could ease her mind.
Oh, please.
She saw a photo of me and my wife and asked who she was, and I explained. Okay, I'm sorry. She's moved in.
Yeah.
But he didn't tell her or, like, show her, like, this was my wife. That's weird.
That's weird.
Red flag on his behalf.
Uh-huh.
She seemed to take it well, but was a little awkward about it.
These bitches out here today. Okay.
Fast forward 3 days and I go to take a shower and I leave my phone on charge in the bedroom. I come out to see my phone's unlocked. Weird, but I let it slide. Later on that day, I go through my photos to upload a new profile picture to Facebook. All the photos of my wife and me and her together are gone without a trace. I checked my Snapchat, my eyes only, because I had a few in there along with intimate photos of us together. I knew it was my girlfriend. I confronted her about it and she started yelling. She said, I need to get over it and get rid of all the reminders of my wife because she was here now. She also called me creepy for having nude pictures of a dead girl. Granted, I probably should have deleted those a long time ago, but I didn't want to because they were special to me. Might be an asshole on my part there. I was livid. I told her to get out. She stared at me in disbelief as I told her again, packed some stuff, and left. I went to my room and cried, and I woke up to many missed calls and angry texts from her and her friends calling me the asshole. This might not have been a big deal, but she permanently got rid of 95% of the pictures of my wife. I still have some printed, like the wedding and some vacations, but I'm still missing a big chunk of them. I feel like she deleted a part of me as well. I've had to block multiple numbers, including my sister's. What the fuck? I do miss her though, and I want to talk, but I'm confused. Reddit, am I in the wrong?
No, absolutely not. You're not in the fucking wrong. That woman is a nightmare, that 23-year-old.
Ghoul. She is a ghoul.
She is a ghoul. But also, I think that the writer needs to take this into account and probably needs to take a step back from dating. 19 months isn't that long. And the fact that you got into a relationship and moved in together 3 months in, he needs to heal, figure out.
Go to therapy.
Yeah, work through all of this and dump her ass.
Oh, she needs to stay the fuck away from her, because guess what? Those photos that you do have printed of your wedding with your deceased wife and stuff, those would all end up in the garbage bin if she...
If she could, just wait. Give her another month.
And what the fuck is up with people being jealous of dead people?
It's so weird.
Bizarre.
Granted, we have not been in that position. I'm sure that there are comparisons, and I'm sure it can be kind of tough, but you don't do that.
No, quit being so insecure. You shouldn't be jealous of anyone. I mean, I don't even understand being jealous of like people's ex-boyfriends or whatever. It's like, work on yourself is always, to me.
No, absolutely. It makes me think of if, like, let's say in the next few weeks I pass away or something. Like, if Cisco got a new wife or girlfriend, they would be like, who the fuck? What? This was your wife? Like, just the embarrassing pictures of me. But also, I give you permission to please delete those before photos out of my phone.
Oh, I'm going to throw your phone in a fire if you
Thank you.
Well, I mean, truly, if Cisco started dating someone 19 months after you died, if she was weird about you...
Oh, I'd ask you to throw hands through a Ouija board or something.
You come to me in a dream.
Them. Yeah.
Oh,
I would haunt their ass.
Please. How we would haunt them. Well, I'm up first this week.
Yes, you are.
You got a side bitch for us?
I sure do. And I found a self-written one, and I thought we haven't done one of those in a while. So let's do it. So this is by Frederick Hoffman. He was born April 3rd, 1967, and died February 1st, 2021. And it says, after 53 years of coming in last, I finally beat my siblings at something. I died first.
Young.
Yes, young. I knew this would happen one day, but it sucks. I really wanted to hang out a bit more, but once again, I didn't get things my way. I was born on April 3rd in Cleveland, Ohio, to Irving and Priscilla Hoffman, and was immediately dubbed the crown prince of the family. I've been medically fragile my entire life, but I think I did pretty well, up till now, that is. I'd like to credit the doctors, nurses, and other healthcare providers at CWRU in Cleveland and IUHC in Indianapolis. You all cared for me with state-of-the-art treatment and empathy, which allowed me to live well beyond my expiration date. Except Anita at Methodist Hospital. I never liked you, Anita.
Oh, shit.
Give a man some privacy when he has to poop.
Oh my God.
I was fortunate enough to develop a personal friendship with a therapist of mine over the past few years. Talking about you, Sean. Thank you, brother, for being my friend. It's important to have someone outside of family to share your feelings with.
Aww.
Speaking of family, I'm leaving behind brothers, sisters, their respective spouses, and a dozen or so nieces and nephews. I loved you all and know I was loved by you all. I especially want to thank Lovey and my forever brother. He goes on to thank a bunch of people, which is very sweet. Then he says, I may have had less than an average lifespan, but I did not lead an average life. I loved who I wanted to love, traveled where I wanted to travel, made wildly inappropriate jokes and comments, and had the best Star Wars themed house ever. I have very few regrets, but chiefly among them, I never saw Hillary Clinton become president. On that last note, at least I died after POTUS Biden and POTUS Harris were elected, and in my last days, I felt more positive and hopeful that our country can work toward unity and equality for all its citizens. I also request that the DNC continue to keep my name on the rolls so Democrats can continue to vote for me in the future. There will be no visitation or services since my sister refuses to honor my request to prop me up in a chair in the corner with an illegal cigarette in my hand. So...
She's not a Geoff.
No, I will look my most natural best. Instead, if you feel inclined, raise a glass of your favorite beverage, pour off a little for your homie, and think about some good times we had. And if you feel compelled to give a donation, would be my choice. They gave me my Lunar, who was a great help and comfort to me in the last year. I will be cremated and my ashes given to my sister Sue, who will keep and care for them, I'm sure, until they no longer match her decor. People pass, but love lives on.
Oh, I love that one.
I know, I liked that one. I thought it was good.
Good job.
Good job, Frederick.
Yeah, Frederick, you did a good one.
Alrighty, well, let's take a quick break and then hear what had you spinning in your coffin.
Alrighty, we'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Your side bitch was actually the perfect lead up because he talked about what had me spinning in my coffin this week, and that is life expectancy.
Oh, okay. That was not even planned.
So, like, in episodes past, especially when I was talking about, like, the world record for the longest living people and their advice, we learned a lot about people who enjoyed living their long lives and what their secret tips and tricks were. You and I personally have been on this new health journey. One thing that we both love about our new trainer is that he's been so great about the fact-checking certain myths when it comes to fitness and getting rid of all the bells and whistles of like, you need to count this and don't count this and you need to be on this supplement and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He's very by the book and we love it because I feel like for you and I, it's given us a very different outlook on fitness. Neither of us have found ourselves in the typical state of being overwhelmed that can come with starting a new workout regime or diet.
Right.
That being said, we live in a society that is very much plagued by fear. Like, I'm not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but like you go on Instagram, right? And there's an infographic about these groceries are killing you and like don't drink oat milk because, you know.
Oh, I was talking about it with one of our friends. He's vegan and he's been vegan for a long time and he's like on a health journey too. He's like bulking and all that. And he was saying that he drinks soy milk because it has a lot of protein. And he's like, that's a myth. It's not going to give me big titties. And like, I was like, okay.
Well, there's just so much out there that, for instance, I've seen so many times this article go around about like, these are how many French fries you can safely eat without, you know, losing 11 years of your life or whatever.
But we talk about also, you can Google something and find an answer to fit what you're looking for.
Oh, of course.
One way or the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's always going to be things supporting every side of an argument. But I wanted to look into life expectancy just as a whole. Like what actually contributes to our likelihood of making it to or not making it to what our average death should be. And so when I say average death, I mean like fulfilling the average life expectancy, which in the US as a whole is 77 years old, with men falling typically around 73 and women around 79.
Women live longer.
Oh yeah, it's not a surprise. According to ourworldindata.org, the term life expectancy actually refers to the number of years a person can expect to live. By definition, life expectancy is based on an estimate of the average age that members of a particular population group will be when they die. And my main reasoning for diving into this as a coffin spinner was really wanting to figure out what contributes to someone's life expectancy.
Okay.
Verywellhealth.com says that, quote, all the statistics in the world ultimately cannot predict precisely how long a person will live, although there's many factors that contribute to life expectancy that cannot be altered, including sex, race, and genetics. Longevity can be affected by measures to preserve health. For example, eating nutritious foods, maintaining a healthy weight, not smoking, staying physically and mentally active, and engaging in social opportunities. And we'll dive a little more into that later on. But taking measures to stay safe is also a huge role in creating longevity in your life. Examples include wearing a seatbelt in the car or a helmet and other safety gear when engaging in sports, which we obviously learned all about during our foray into the sporting world a few months back.
Well, even last week we talked about plane crashes and choking.
Oh my God. You gotta stay safe. In the US, life expectancy has taken a dive in recent years. And Harvard says this is due to a combination of the COVID-19 pandemic as well as drug overdoses, which neither of those really surprise.
No, they don't surprise me at all.
Last October, Dr. Robert Schmerling published an article for Harvard Medical School explaining, quote, my wife likes to say it'd be helpful if everyone knew their expiration date, as in the date you die.
No, I don't want to know.
You know, for planning purposes. Of course, most of us don't. Perhaps the closest thing a healthy person has to gauge longevity is life expectancy. For example, a baby born in the US in 2021 has an estimated life expectancy of about 76 years old. According According to the latest report from the National Center for Health Statistics, our life expectancy varies depending on our current age, sex, race, and ethnicity, and where in the U.S. we live. Unfortunately, this new report shows a startling rise in death rates and decline in longevity. I thought this was really interesting. It says, with rare exceptions, life expectancy has been on the rise in the U.S. It was 47 years in 1900.
Okay.
68 years in 1950.
Okay.
And by 2019, it had risen to nearly 79 years, but it fell to 77 in 2020 and dropped further to just over 76 in 2021.
Oh, God.
That's the largest decrease over a 2-year span since the 1920s. Life expectancy figures represent averages totaled from hundreds of thousands of people sorted into specific groups. Some groups fare much better than others. Life expectancy for an Alaska Native populations fell more than other ethnic groups at 65.2 years. The latest life expectancy estimates that these groups are similar to that of the U.S. population in 1944. Life expectancy for white Americans, 76.4 years, is longer than that of Black Americans, 70.8 years. And for Asian Americans, life expectancy is 83.5 years, which remains the longest among ethnic groups for which data is collected. Hispanic Americans had the next longest life expectancy at 77.7 years. For women and men, life expectancy of 79 and 73 reflects a long apparent significant gap. It's important to remember that these estimates represent average life expectancy based on hundreds of thousands of people. They're accurate for the populations they represent, but they aren't terribly accurate for a particular individual. For each of us, lifespan is affected by additional factors, including health habits, disease, and genes. COVID-19, drug overdoses, and accidental injury accounted for about 2/3 of the decline in life expectancy, according to a 2022 report. Other reasons included heart and liver diseases, as well as suicides. The drop in life expectancy would have been even greater if not for a bit of good news: decreases in deaths from chronic lung disease, pneumonia, influenza, and Alzheimer's disease. Life expectancy is only one measure of health. Other measures, such as infant mortality, maternal mortality, vaccination, and cancer screening rates, and years of healthy life lived, are not directly captured by reports on life expectancy. Still, it's striking and disappointing that after decades of increasing life expectancy and at a time when researchers are rethinking aging and the limits of the lifespan, we are now seeing life expectancy fall. This downward trend could be reversed if we make progress in controlling the COVID-19 pandemic and opioid epidemic, which obviously COVID-19, we're in a different spot this year than we were then in 2021.
The opioid epidemic, I feel like, is just getting worse.
Well,
then fentanyl.
Well, we've talked. We want to do a joint episode covering that eventually. But yeah, it's scary. He ends by saying, can we prevent premature death and eliminate disparities in life expectancy? And he says, these are challenging, worthy goals that require individual and collective action. We can all vow to exercise more, choose a healthier diet, and work harder to be healthy as best we can. But public health and political leaders also have important roles to play, particularly for marginalized, disadvantaged citizens. It's notable, for example, that some of the states with the lowest life expectancies are also the ones with the most uninsured residents and yet have turned down Medicaid expansion. So it is pretty political.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are factors that I found when I was researching this that are out of our control, right? When you hear about them, like race, socioeconomic status, but there are plenty of ways to ensure that you are getting the most out of your years. Just a precautionary warning, I'm going to be talking about weight in this part of the episode. Newsandhealth.gov reported that a sure way to improve your chances for a longer, healthier life is to shed excess weight. Quote, body mass index, BMI, higher than 30 is a risk factor for early death, and it shortens your active life expectancy. This article says, BMI is an estimate of your body fat based on your weight and height. Now, in recent years, the accuracy and effectiveness of BMI has been called into question. And I've seen things like, oh, BMI isn't accurate, it's not true, like it's not beneficial anymore. And so I wanted to know, I went looking for clarity because this is something I've seen repeated time and time again. So when it comes to BMI, Healthline helped helped to break it down in an article with scientists and doctors who specialize in nutrition and health, saying body mass index is a standard health assessment tool in most healthcare facilities. Though it has been used for decades as a go-to measurement for health based on body size, it has been widely criticized for its oversimplification of what being healthy really means. In fact, many claim BMI is outdated and inaccurate and shouldn't be used in medical and fitness settings. The BMI was developed in 1832 by a Belgian mathematician named Lambert Adolphe Jacques Quetelet. He developed the BMI scale to quickly estimate the degree of overweight and obesity in a given population to help governments decide where to allocate health and financial resources. Interestingly, he stated that BMI was not useful in studying single individuals, but rather in giving a snapshot of a population's overall health. Nevertheless, it's widely used to measure individuals' health. The BMI scale is based on a mathematical formula that determines whether a person is of a quote-unquote healthy weight by dividing their weight in kilograms by their height in meters squared. Alternatively, it can be calculated by dividing weight in pounds and by height in square inches and multiplying it by 703. I've done one of these calculators before, I know. But, okay, here's the problem. I just want to simplify this a little bit because they start really getting into the math of it all. And if you want to read more about that, the article's obviously linked in the sources. They say, quote, though this can give the healthcare professional a snapshot of a person's health based on a person's weight, it doesn't consider other factors such as age, sex, race, genetics, fat mass, muscle mass, and bone density, which is really interesting because it's like two people can be 300 pounds. They can be the same height.
Right.
But somebody could have, this amount of muscle.
Someone could be a football player and someone could be just your average Joe.
They went on to say that despite concerns that BMI doesn't accurately identify whether a person is healthy, most studies show that a person's risk of chronic disease and premature death does increase with a BMI lower than 18.5 if they're underweight or of 30 or greater, obese. For example, a 2017 retrospective study of 103,218 deaths found that the people who had a BMI of 30 or greater, classified as obese, had 1.5 to 2.7 times greater risk of death after a 30-year follow-up. Researchers also found that those who were in the underweight category and the severely obese or extremely obese categories died an average of almost 7 years and almost 4 years earlier, respectively, than those in the quote-unquote normal BMI category. But I was glad they talked about weight discrimination in this article as well, and said, although studies often suggest that obesity is a risk factor for certain health conditions, they rarely account for the role weight stigma and discrimination play in health, which is fucking true. I can't tell you how many of my friends have gone to a doctor and they don't want to look into any of their symptoms. They're just like, oh, it has to do with your weight. Oh, you just gotta lose some weight.
Totally.
I mean, I have one friend and she's like so crazed about her fitness, but she's by definition like 15 pounds overweight. And her doctor offered her Ozempic.
What?
And it's like, what? Like, why? Like, in what? It's just so bizarre. Weight discrimination in healthcare can prevent people at high body weights from seeking medical care, and those who do may not receive accurate diagnoses or treatment because doctors may attribute their health concerns solely to their weight. Case in point.
Yeah.
As a result, any health condition a person may have may be more advanced by the time they receive a diagnosis. Meanwhile, experiences in weight stigma in daily life, even outside of medical settings, are associated with negative mental and physical health outcomes. Everyone deserves appropriate and compassionate medical care. If you're interested in finding weight-inclusive healthcare professionals, you may want to follow the work of the Association for Size Diversity and Health, which is developing a directory that apparently was set to launch in 2022, so hopefully it did. In summary, though BMI has been criticized for its oversimplification of health, most research supports its ability to estimate a person's risk of chronic disease, particularly one's risk of early death and metabolic syndrome. That said, BMI fails to consider other aspects of health, such as age, sex, fat mass, muscle mass, race, genetics, and medical history. What's more, using it as a sole predictor of health has been shown to increase weight bias and health inequities. So in short, yeah, it helps determine risk factors for certain groups. However, it's not solely able to be indicative of whether or not somebody is healthy. But weight was one of the main contributors to life expectancy that I came across time and time again. Another huge one was smoking, which is obviously notorious for shortening somebody's life expectancy.
Right.
But I wondered, I'm like, okay, but by how much? And, okay.
Can I smoke?
Yeah. What do you say, doc? They're like, yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah, you're reading an article from like 18.
my source is The Sun, and this is from 1846.
Yeah.
The Center for Disease Control states that life expectancy for smokers is at least 10 years shorter than for non-smokers. Quitting smoking before the age of 40 reduces the risk of dying from smoking-related disease by about 90%.
Oh, so you still got 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, I should start smoking again.
Yeah.
Why not?
I smoked a cigarette on Monday.
You did?
I did.
While people were over?
Yeah.
You just were like, let me have one of those?
Yeah, and I sat in our backyard and like all the bistro lights and like all the tree, like it was just such a good setting. Music was playing and I was just sitting there like, yeah.
I miss them. I want one.
They don't do it I want something that tastes like strawberry ice now.
Mental health is also equally as important as physical health. Professor John McGrath and Dr. Oliger Plana-Rapol from Denmark's Aarhus University led a study which found that on average, mental disorders shortened life expectancy by 10 years for men and 7 years for women.
Wow.
Which I also thought was really interesting. I'm like, damn. I mean, if that doesn't prove the fucking point, like we know and we speak about so often how dangerous smoking is. Mm-hmm. And knowing that mental health can play just as pivotal of a role in your life expectancy means that we should be talking about it a lot more.
Yep.
In closing, according to the government-run News and Health Organization, they listed several ways you can increase your likelihood of reaching a long life. They said eat a healthy diet, pay attention to weight and shape. Extra weight, especially at your waist or with muscle loss, can raise certain health risks. So talk to your doctor if you notice changes there. They say don't smoke or use tobacco. Keep your brain active, which I do hear a lot. And there's so many like little apps and stuff now that I feel like are good for that, or fucking reading.
Right.
Be good to yourself, get enough sleep, stay in touch with family and friends, and surround yourself with people that you enjoy. Get regular medical checkups, and drink only in moderation if you drink alcohol. But in my personal closing, I think if you're living a life you're proud of, you're genuinely happy.
Yep.
Do whatever the hell you want as long as it's not affecting anyone else. There is so much pressure to live life in a certain way, and we're constantly inundated with quote-unquote health experts online telling us what to do. And I know personally, I would rather have a fun life, drink my Diet Coke, eat my French fries, than try living the cleanest possible way so that I could stick it out a few more years.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
Not worth it to me. I did quit smoking. I smoked for a long time. I, as we know, don't drink. And I have to say, getting good sleep, drinking the appropriate amount of water for my body, and having a fitness routine the last few weeks has made my day-to-day a lot better. We were talking about it this morning. So much less anxious, so much less buzzy.
Yep.
The proof is in the pudding. There's a reason that it's said over and over again. You cannot argue that getting good sleep, drinking water, and being active.
It is life-changing, and unfortunately we had to hire somebody to tell us that.
Yeah.
But it is so true.
And we're just sharing this knowledge for free, baby.
Okay, so there you have it.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was interesting looking into, I have another coffin sweater that I'll probably do next week that's going to tell us how I got onto the topic of life expectancy truly. It's fucking wild. So, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. So let's take a quick break.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll hear what had you spinning in your coffin, Madison.
Alrighty.
We'll be right back. And we're back. What had you spinning in your coffin?
Headhunting had me spinning in my coffin this week.
Oh, baby.
And I'm not talking about headhunting like job searching. I'm talking about decapitating your enemy and keeping their head as a trophy.
Yeah.
This episode actually took a few different turns as I was researching, and we talk about a lot of stuff. But headhunting has been practiced throughout the world and is a process as old as time. Every culture's headhunting practices differ, but they are all equally interesting. But today I specifically want to talk about something that falls under the head hunting category, and that is shrunken heads.
Ooh, I love this.
Yes. So I feel like in general, we've probably all seen a shrunken head like depicted somewhere.
Yeah.
I remember in the 90s, there was this movie called Shrunken Head, and it freaked me out. And then I also remember on the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland, they had them, but I believe that they've been removed in the last few years just because it was seen as like mocking a culture and was
I was gonna
problematic.
Say,
which I fully agree with. Also, I like the show Pawn Stars, and I was watching an episode where someone brought in a shrunken head and tried to sell it, and it turned out to be fake, which we'll get into fake shrunken heads. But my point is, I've seen them before, but I didn't know the culture behind it, and I was interested to learn all about it. And I also really, truly wanted to know the process of shrinking a head. So we'll get into that too.
Yeah, is it like clay? Do you put it in the oven?
Oh, honey, we'll get into it. So if you're a Geoff who doesn't know what a shrunken head is, I'll explain. Also,
it's like a head, but small, honey.
Exactly. Go look at our Instagram because we'll probably post pictures, or Google it. There's a ton of real pictures. But a shrunken head is literally what it sounds like. A real human head that has been removed from its owner's body and shrunk. Spencer's laughing at me. The shrunken heads that we know of today have been really well documented among indigenous tribes in Ecuador and Peru, specifically the Jivaroan people. And I was reading about these people and I found it interesting, just a few tidbits about them. They believe that not only humans have souls, but also inanimate objects have souls. And then I also read, which just sent shivers down my spine, that anacondas were seen as spiritual guides to them.
Oh, you don't like a snake.
I do not like a snake. But the reason that they participated in headhunting their enemies instead of just killing them was because they believed that the enemy's soul was held in their head. So if they decapitated them and went through the head shrinking process, they would be able to trap the enemy's soul and it wouldn't try to avenge the living.
Ooh.
So these shrunken heads are known as sansas. Sometimes the heads were worn on necklaces as a trophy, and other times they were used as warnings to enemy tribes, like, don't fuck with us or this will be you.
Yeah.
Also, the decapitations happened either dead or alive. I don't think that part really mattered. So
okay.
Could have been dead, could have been alive. So you have somebody's head. Now you have to shrink it. I do have to say there are many serious rituals that this culture holds and superstitions. The shrinking of a head was a cause for a big celebration, which included food and drink, but I really want to get to the nitty gritty. So
well, no, I need to know what they served. Was it Triscuits?
Maybe. I'll put the head on it.
Cheez-It party mix?
Uh-huh. The Jivaroan people would take the head and they would make an incision. And I've read they would make an incision on the back of the ear, but I've also read that they would make an incision from the back of the neck and up. Then you would begin removing the neck. Because I guess if you decapitate, there's going to be, some of your spine connected to your skull. Right? Like that tissue.
Yeah, typically when I've been decapitated, that's been the case.
I think that's probably how it goes. So they would begin removing the neck, making sure that it's not attached to the head anymore. Then they would remove the whole skull, which that was like a misconception that I thought. I thought they shrunk the skull, but I guess there's no way to do that. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they would remove the skull, and I read that oftentimes they would give the skulls to the anacondas as like an offering, which then led me down a whole quest to figure out the diet of an anaconda, which was my worst fucking nightmare.
Oh yeah, because can they eat? But also, I just picture a lot of old traditional tattoos have a snake going through like a skull, and it makes me think of this.
Oh yeah. Well, so I was like, do they eat bones? Like, what's the deal? And they won't like crush a bone.
They'll just swallow it whole.
They'll swallow it whole because if it's crushed up, it can cause like punctures and shit.
Okay.
I don't know. That's all I could get myself to look into anacondas because they freak me out. Anyway, you have your skin mask now, right? You took your skull out. You just have this skin. Now it's time to clean it and shrink it. You now have to sew the lips shut, and all of the meat and fat from the head is cleaned off. So, just all the gross stuff that's attached to our skin is cleaned off. Wooden pegs are also driven through the lips. And to keep the shape of the head, there's like a ball that's placed inside of it. Then the head is boiled in water with a bunch of herbs, and the boiling process is about 30 minutes to an hour, but sometimes reaches 2 hours. Any longer than that, it gets gross.
Oh, the skin starts falling
It
off.
gets gross, okay? It's pretty unbelievable, but the head, or the head skin, I should say, shrinks to about a third of the size it originally was in that process. Then to shrink it even more, hot stones and sand are placed inside of it. Then there is this process where they take hot stones and rub them on the outside of the face to really kind of mold the face. This process ensures that it holds its shape, so it brings out the human features.
Okay.
Charcoal ash is then put all over the face, rubbed all over it, because that was believed to lock the spirit in also. And then it was left over the fire so that the head could really harden up. While the actual process of shrinking a head didn't take very long, the rituals and celebrations that went along with them could last almost a week.
Whoa.
But then this is when white people came in and were gross. And it just reminded me of the mummy unwrapping parties all over again.
Oh, God.
In the late 19th century, we all know the Victorians were up to no good with their fascination of things that should be left untouched. They wanted to display things in their home as a sign of status that were not meant for them, like the mummies.
Right.
So Europeans during this time discovered the shrunken heads, and they went fucking wild for them.
Oh, they loved it.
They loved them. They wanted these bad boys, and they wanted them bad. They were collectibles to them. So one way or another, they got the Hivaroan people to trade their shrunken heads to them in exchange for weapons. So the Hivaroan people received things like guns in exchange for these shrunken heads. Demand grew, which resulted in the Hivaroan people killing more people to keep up with this like trade deal. Then this started fake shrunken heads being made. And I read that like 3/4 of the shrunken heads today are fake.
Huh.
Crazy. So then I stumbled upon another article. So speaking of trading heads with Europeans, the indigenous people of New Zealand, known as the Maori, fell victim to the trades in the 19th century. And the Maori people practiced something called moka mokai, which was preserving the heads of their people. And I don't want to read a whole article to you guys, but I respectfully also don't want to get this information wrong. So from allthingsinteresting.com, they have a short but great article called The Disturbing Story of the Moka Mokai Heads of the Maori Tribesmen that I wanted to read. It's a quick read, but it says, quote, "In the American Museum of National History in New York City lies a collection of 30 Moka Mokai, or the severed tattooed heads of Maori tribesmen. The collection itself is quite interesting. However, the story of how it got to the museum is even more so. In the 1860s, Major General Horatio Gordon Robley served in the British Army during the New Zealand Land Wars. While there, he became fascinated by the local tribesmen, the Maori, and their tradition of facial tattoos. Being a talented illustrator, he began sketching the tattoos and eventually published a book on the subject. He discovered that the facial tattoos, known as moko, were given mostly to men who ranked highly in society. Occasionally, a high-ranking woman would have moko on her lips or chin, but it was rare. When someone with moko died, their entire head would be preserved in order to honor their high social standing. During preservation, the eyes and brain were removed, and all of the holes would be sealed with flax fiber and gum. The head was boiled, then smoked, before being dried in the sun and treated with shark oil." I want to quickly show you these heads.
Oh, wow. That's something not right about seeing a wall of heads.
Yeah.
It's giving, what's that museum we went to?
Oh,
The Mooter
Museum.
Museum, the Wall of Skulls.
Uh-huh. The head was then given to the tribesman's family, who would keep it in an ornate box and bring it out for sacred ceremonies. Occasionally, the heads of opposing tribe members were preserved and paraded around like war trophies. The exchange of foreign mokomokai between tribes was an important piece of peace agreements. During the early 19th century, when Europeans arrived in New Zealand, the mokomokai became valuable items for trade. So they were either wanting shrunken heads or they were wanting the mokomokai heads. The Europeans, like Robley, were fascinated by the heads and were willing to trade them for firearms, which the Maori could use for their military. They became so invested in the mokomokai trade, in fact, that they would often raid neighboring villages to acquire more heads. They would tattoo slaves and prisoners and create fake moko in order to meet the high demand. Through the trade, Robley acquired a collection of 35 mokomokai. Initially, he offered the collection to the New Zealand government, however, they rejected his offer. In the early 1890s, the collection was purchased by the American Museum of Natural History for £1,250. So, yes, this episode is about these different cultures and their beliefs, and the Maori culture heads especially are really cool to me, but I also really respect a shrunken head now. Like, if your enemy and you want to fuck around in my village and I have to kill you, I'm absolutely shrinking your head.
Oh yeah, your head's getting shrunk.
You're gonna get shrunk. But I don't know how I feel ethically about having things like this on display unless it were approved by the people's culture it was from.
Yeah. I also think of Beetlejuice, though.
Yep, his little head.
And nothing makes me happier than
I know. God, I love that guy. But yeah.
Incredible.
We're going to need a couple head hunting episodes because there are a ton of different heads to talk about.
Oh, and heads are gonna roll. All right, well, let's talk about maybe a different way to memorialize someone.
Okay.
Like with an obituary.
All righty.
Okay. I'm really excited about my obituary today because I found the obituary for Maggie Fox. And Maggie Fox was one of the Fox sisters who have an incredible story. I told the story on a recent episode of Cult Leader. If you haven't listened to it, go fucking listen to it because it is wild. But it says, last of the Fox sisters dead. Rochester, New York, November 4th. Mrs. Maria Fox Smith, she was called Maggie though, the last of the present generation of the celebrated Fox family and one of the Fox sisters, originators of modern spiritualism, died yesterday at Newark, New York, aged 85 years. By the death of Mrs. Smith, the last of the famous family passes out of sight, and the only remaining relatives close to the family are several nieces and nephews living in Newark and the surrounding country. David Fox, a brother of the Fox sisters, died about 7 months ago. The history of the Fox family has become well known through numerous lawsuits of recent years. The Fox family, in winter of 1848, resided in a small and obscure frame-dwelling house on the outskirts of Newark, now known throughout the world as the Mecca of modern spiritualism. The family remained there until the famous rappings of the night of March 31st, 1848, when the Fox sisters were moved to Rochester to continue the foundation of their belief. The family had never since been together, and Mrs. Smith, who married shortly after, has resided since in the neighborhood of the Spooky House, as the old family residence is known in Newark. She and the Fox sisters' descendants have always been firm believers in the spiritualistic faith. Mrs. Smith is survived by one son, Charles, who resided with her. The funeral will be held from the residence tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, and messages from several cities announce that there will be a large delegation of spiritualists at the funeral.
Wow.
Interesting.
That is so cool. I love it.
Who you got?
All right. Well, I have George Costanza.
Wow. All right.
This is from, I believe it's from the Tribune. I will link it in my sources. But it says George Costanza, 45, added little to society. Growing up an only child in his Queens home, George Costanza was badgered endlessly by his parents and had his confidence torn down at an early age. Self-centered and self-destructive, Mr. Costanza, 45, was comfortable with an underachieving lifestyle and embraced behavior that contradicted social norms. Despite these obstacles, he managed to eke out a veneer of responsibility and spent some of his adult life away from his parents' home, earning a living independently. Too often, though, Mr. Costanza approached his jobs, including positions as assistant to the traveling secretary with the New York Yankees and as an architect, as puzzles. He would try to solve the problem of working and instead focus on ways to circumvent tasks for which he was paid. Aside from these jobs and brief stints elsewhere, his aversion to the mainstream world muddied details about his personal life. He spent a great deal of time in Monk's Cafe, complaining about unfair situations for which he had only himself to blame. In the end, firefighters found Mr. Costanza on Thursday, dressed only in boxer shorts, drooling in front of his television set.
Oh my, did you watch Seinfeld?
Yeah.
You did? I never watched it.
I wasn't like a huge Seinfeld person, but I feel like it would come on all the time. Like it was just kind of
It was
in
like
the
a
background.
late, it came on late.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited because we've spun in our coffins.
Oh my God, we have bitched our obituaries.
That means it's time for some dumb
Ask
criminals. And I got a group of drag queens
Ooh.
who wreaked havoc
Ooh.
at a McDonald's.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh, I got a video to show you.
Oh,
for this
baby.
one. I'll play you the clip first, and then I'll read you a news article that I found.
3 drag queens jumped out of the car, ran into the restaurant armed with a tire iron, and started swinging at employees. But not before they disrobed, kicking off their stiletto boots, hoop earrings, and jackets.
Hell
All
yeah.
my fucking boots and earrings back, bitch. Okay, yeah. And they just decided to start a fight with the crew at McDonald's here. And they began to get ready to fight. Taking off clothing in the front. He swung, hit my mountains. And my mountains swung, hit back. So then when we started coming up, so they stepped back, getting taking off their shoes, boots, you know what I'm saying? Whatever else they had to do to feel satisfied to fight.
Albert Bolton has Band-Aids covering scratches where one of the drag queens mauled him with his fingernails.
And then he scratched me.
About that time, the manager grabbed a pot of hot French fry grease and launched it at them. One of the drag queens retaliated, smacking the manager in the head with a wet floor sign, sending him away in an ambulance.
Yeah, I fucked that manager up. Yes, I hit her with that wet floor sign. I do it again. She should not have shorted me on my motherfucking fries. No, I'm a big girl. I likes to eat.
Right.
And before they drove off, they smashed in the drive-through window.
Oh my God, I fucking love that. I think that's my favorite dumb criminal you've ever done.
Okay, so apparently this happened in Memphis, Tennessee in 2007. I have an article. I can't read all of it because the language is not right at all.
Okay.
From Fox News, a troublesome trio of drag queens allegedly laid siege to a Memphis McDonald's restaurant on Sunday night, sparking a brawl with the restaurant's crew, according to reports. Police said they were working on a more detailed description of 3 men dressed in drag who came into a McDonald's restaurant and started swinging.
You know what? They are the kind of drag that I like. Just that old school drag.
Divine
too.
drag.
Yes, divine drag.
They come to the window, tap, tap, tap. I'm ignoring them, Martez Briscoe told WMC-TV. I guess that just pissed him off worse. The trio allegedly struck the manager with a tire iron, and when he swung back, the drag queens took off their stiletto boots, removed their earrings, and prepared to attack. The manager, Albert Bolton, was covered with scratch marks after suspects clawed him with their fingernails. Bolton grabbed a pot of scalding French fry grease and hurled it at the attackers. One of the drag queens then smacked Bolton with a wet floor sign. I'm sorry, sending him to the hospital in an ambulance. Before driving off, the 3 attackers smashed the drive-thru window.
I just love them.
I know they shouldn't have done that.
I know, but come on.
I love a destructive drag queen.
Me too. They've been through enough.
And you know what? It sounds like they didn't get their fries.
Well, I'd be mad too.
Well, and who knows? Who knows what the workers were doing either? They could have been treating them like
They probably were.
making fun of them or whatever.
Yeah.
And they said, watch this. Bitch.
Please.
I love it.
bring them back.
Yeah.
Oh, God, they're innocent.
Oh, if it just happened, I would have been like, let's donate
fucking
money.
go. Yep.
Let's send money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Well, I have a dumb criminal in a restaurant as well.
Ooh.
Maybe not as fine of an establishment as McDonald's.
Mickey D's?
Yes. This incident that we're going to talk about happened in Florida in June of 2019. Monroe County Sheriff deputies were called on a Friday night to a local seafood restaurant, and apparently there was a drunk and disorderly person on the property and they needed to be apprehended. The police arrived, and to their surprise, it wasn't a customer who had too much to drink. It was actually an employee.
Oh my God, drinking on the job.
I know. So the Nichols Seafood Restaurant employee was named Adenel Morales, and he was drinking on the job, and he became so intoxicated that he was absolutely belligerent. And at some point, he pulled out spray paint and painted over security cameras. He then destroyed other property, and then he grabbed a knife and started threatening his fellow employees. But it didn't end there. He then got completely naked and strolled around the restaurant.
Oh God.
Finally, when he was done wreaking havoc at work, he went and took a little nap in the office, and that is where police officers found him. But this man was so wasted that when police tried to get into the office where he was sleeping, he woke up and he wouldn't comply with them, and he fought back, and he kicked deputies, and he even asked the cops for death by cop. But
Shit.
I know, but instead they tased him and placed him in a restraint chair, and he was charged with criminal mischief, disorderly intoxication, resisting with violence, and battery on law enforcement.
Oh God, hopefully he got some help after that.
I wonder if they put some clothes on him before they put him in that chair.
I don't know. I've seen it go all ways on cops.
I know. I know.
Oh God. Well, speaking of wielding a knife, you want to wield that knife into some of these PO packages?
Oh, I can't wait.
Let's do it.
This one is like,
What if it's breakable?
oh, I don't think so. It'd say fragile. It's all broken.
Here, let me turn the lights up for you.
What is this?
What is all of that?
Okay, there's no note, but it's from the native plate, and then it says Jessica, but there's no note. But holy shit.
What are these? Are sprinkles?
Oh my God. Okay, wait, we have to do a Patreon and make cookies. There are like cute ass sprinkles and stuff that are all Halloween themed.
From Jessica, and they say we carry the biggest and best selection of sprinkles online.
Is it called Sugar Tops?
Yes, sugar tops.
Hell yeah. These sprinkles are so cute. We have purple witch hats, black witch hats, ghosts,
Pumpkins,
bats,
little skulls,
pumpkins,
Oh my
ice
God.
cream cones.
I love these. Go to sugartopsusa.com. Check out those sprinkles.
Oh my God, how cool. Oh my God, look, eyeballs. Cute. Thanks, Jessica.
Okay, this one wins the coolest packing tape award. It's
Yes.
Little skulls and bats. Let me open it up. Dearest Mr. Eyes, Spencer, Doris, Desi, and Hot Dog, I am a longtime cult babe and Geoff from San Diego and was so looking forward to the live show in LA. I made this special gift for you. If you can't tell, it's the two of you taking a ride in a coffin spinner.
What?
With some extra references thrown in for fun. I'm so sad I won't be able to present it to you in person. I was looking forward to the meet and greet. I won't be able to be at the newly scheduled date since I'll be in London that week. Well, that's cooler than us.
I know.
This note is really getting long, so I'll try to wrap it up. You two are my favorite podcasters and fill many hours with interesting stories and laughs. I'm so glad you're both doing better, and I'm sorry that you were sick with COVID. Hopefully, I'll see you at a live show some other time. You will. And send my love to the pups, and thanks for being you. Much love, Colt Babe. Amber. Okay.
Amber.
Let's.
Oh my God, what is this? What is this?
Oh my God. It's a miniature
Oh my God.
coffin with me and Madison.
Inside of it, is that an urn?
An urn that
It's a
says
side bitch.
And there's two little skeletons. Oh my God. And they're holding They're holding obituaries.
Oh my God, this is the coolest.
And of course, a little gavel on there. And it's like on like a lazy Susan.
It spins.
I love it. It's a literal coffin spinner.
Holy shit.
That is so fucking cool. I wish we could have thanked you in person, but hopefully we will get to one
I
day.
know.
We have to post a picture of that.
Oh my God. That is cool. How cute is that?
Thank you so much. This is so cool.
This is so cool. And please let us know if you can make any other dates.
Yes, we'll give you a fucking ticket.
Hell
So
yeah.
you can come spin with us in person
Fuck yeah.
and have fun in London.
I know.
Oh, you'll be there. When we're recording this, you're probably on your way there right now. We definitely have some more boxes that we're going to have to go through with you guys next week. But thank you all for being the absolute best. If you have something you want to send to our P.O. Box, you can send it to Spencer Henry and Madison, Mr. Eyes, P.O. Box 18149, Long Beach, California, 90807.
And if you forget that, just go to obituarypodcast.com. Everything is on there, honey.
Yeah, baby. But that's it for this week. We'll see you next week with some more coffin spinners
And obituaries.
and the dumb
Ass
criminals. Goodbye.
Goodbye.